Our plan was to go hike around the forest today, but it is very clearly raining. So I don't know about that anymore. Our plan was to do a morning hike, and since that obviously isn't happening, we decided to spend the morning talking to our hotel's local tea merchant. He spends a good 15 minutes showing us his assortment of different teas and explaining to us, and when I mean us, I mean sun, the differences between strains and how that affects color and taste. After being impressed with his salesmanship, with some newly owned tea in hand, we noticed that the rain had stopped. This was the perfect opportunity for us to leave our hotel and make our way to the entrance to the park. Sun tells me that Emei Mountain is a very famous place in Chinese folklore and history, and it's especially famous for the monkeys that call the mountain home. Getting into the park and just doing anything here in China seems really simple if you're Chinese and really convoluted if you're not Chinese, because everything requires you to do things through WeChat. Everything requires you to have like a national ID card. Everything requires you to have so many like of these things that you just have if you were Chinese, but as a foreigner you don't have. So it makes traveling as a tourist here pretty difficult. Like I actually don't think I could get into the park without my friend being here to help me. Like that's how crazy it is, because it's just like a logistical nightmare almost, because you have to pay through WeChat, but then you also need to show your passport if you're going to pay for anything here, because they won't let you pay for things if you don't have a passport. It's really weird. Like they have to check everything. They can't just like, you can't just like pay for something like this. Along the way, there's like these really cool man-made enclaves that kind of look like rocks with a bunch of cool paintings of like either like monkeys or like Buddhist monks and monkeys. A lot of the signage though does say like not to feed the monkeys and all this stuff like that, because apparently they do get pretty aggressive to people here pretty quickly. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. There's a face carved into the tree. Yeah. Oh, two of them. It's kind of hard to see. But these are offerings that you leave to make a wish, which is pretty cool. Dawn Tshaki, limit 40 people. So we found our way to a restaurant, or what it looks like a restaurant. I don't know where we're gonna find monkeys here though. After going up some steps, we're here looking at this big acorn. I don't know what it actually is, but it's one of these moments where I really wish I read Chinese. It's still super cool nonetheless. This rock looks like a bull's heart. Well, I thought acorn, but okay. Its another name is Jishin Rock, Heart Washing Rock. That's very pretty. This place is so beautiful. Whoa, this is cool. So based on the sign I just read, Emei Mountain is the founding area of the Taoist practice, which is also apparently what this inscription represents. But clearly I can't read any of it, so I just have to go off of the little signs that I'm reading. Son and I have been slowly creeping our way to the monkeys, but I don't know when we'll see any. I hope we see some, because that's kind of the whole point of going to this spot, is just to see some monkeys. But other than that, it's just been a pretty chill walk, I'd say. And hello, and people keep staring at me. And every time I start recording, they stare at me even more, and it makes me a little bit more uncomfortable. One thing I definitely don't think I can get over is looking at how cool the Chinese architecture is. I love these style of buildings, and like, I don't think I'm gonna get tired of looking at them and trying to take pictures of them. Some of these statues are crazy detailed. A little scary though. 200 meters away from finally being able to see some monkeys. And here we are, we made it to the monkeys. There's one big fat one right there. There's a little baby one right there. And then there's a few in the trees. So yeah, I'm gonna get some photos of them and see what they're up to from a more up close and personal view. The monkeys got really pissed off with some of those tourists over there. I think it's because they're like antagonizing them in some way. Oh, they're feeding them, which is, of course, the thing you're not supposed to do, they say. But, you know, not my place. I'm not saying anything about that. Our plan now is to try and check out a temple. But the temple we were trying to check out, turns out it was like halfway down the road that we walked to get to the monkeys, and we didn't realize that, so we walked all the way back to the entrance, only to realize that that's probably not the right way, and so now we need to turn around and walk all the way back. So the turn we missed was in the enclave that we spent a whole bunch of time in hanging out at earlier, and we didn't think to just try turning the other direction. Mama's son here is feeding a new cat. Yeah, new baby. We've gone up quite a bit of steps. I think we made it. Oh, no. Maybe not. I mean, this looks like a temple. Or an inn. You can actually hike your way up to the top of Mount Emei, or Emei as I've been calling it. But that's a lot of stairs. It also apparently takes like 6 hours. So don't think we have time for that. It's just like a little inn area people can stay. And the actual temple is 400 meters up from where we currently are. So I got my hopes up for nothing. So after quite a while, here we are to the entrance of the temple. And it is beautiful. These statues are nuts. Super cool. Sun's dying over there. Look at her. So after paying a extremely steep 10 RMB, which is like $1.10-15, this is what the actual temple looks like. It's beautiful here. Apparently, it's common for people to hike from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain, and because it takes it's like 30 or 40 kilometers to go up to the top, that apparently you can stay in the monasteries here for the night, and it's only like 20 or 30 RMB, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, look, there's a cat. Look at that. Look at the little kitty. He's just chilling.
Moving on from the kitty and the main enclave where we were, we make our way deeper into the temple, where Sun was approached by a volunteer working at the temple who told her that if we wanted to, we would be allowed to spend the night at the temple. Obviously, before committing to such an awesome idea, they offered to give us a tour of the temple to see where we could expect to sleep and if it was what we wanted.
So the monastery has monks that are living here full time, but then they're also so kind enough to just let random people come in and spend the night if they want to. I guess so long as they have availability, but yeah, it's super kind of them. And currently right now we're debating about whether we want to stay or not, because whoa, look at the temple. I don't have anything to charge my camera, which is kind of low on battery. I don't have anything to charge my phone, which is super low on battery, and being in China, you need to have a working phone. Staying here would be pretty epic.